Up first in your Fox 13 Hot Shots, divers in Bosnia get festive, putting up Christmas decorations underwater. Turns out this pollution problem isn't just painful for your lungs, it's also hurting the state's pocketbook.
This is how it played out in their words. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's dark outside. It's a quiet neighborhood, but their garage door was open.
Don't you love the decorations that we have going on here?
It's really fun to have them around. Yeah.
You can see that the room is packed with Mitt Romney supporters. There's a lot of anticipation surrounding this presidential race. Joining us live right now is Thomas Wright, the state Republican Party chair. And how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling nervous about this?
I think everybody's nervous.
I brought my fashionable
Your
winter
Fox 13
coat out here.
coat.
Yes,
I think I'm more fashionable. You see this snowball right here?
Yeah.
I made it just for you.
Oh, thanks.
And without an official vote just yet, taxes will increase starting tomorrow. There's plenty at stake for Utah families. The clerk told them that this suspect was much younger than the woman that they're currently looking for this evening. We really appreciate all their hard work to keep us safe. But Ben, as you pointed out, even though it's sort of tapered off, it's that black ice that we really need to watch out for tonight.
The pavement looks dry enough, but it's slick. This is exactly what they say when they call it black ice. It's just on the freeways.
Well, it looks like you're wearing the proper shoes for it, Ben.
I hope so.
All right. Thank you. We're going to head to the Weather Center right now, where Breck is standing by with a look at the storm and how long it's going to last. And we got a white Christmas like we asked for, right? Well, tonight, police are on the hunt for a suspect who may be responsible for 3 different armed robberies. Robberies all happened within half an hour of each other on the Salt Lake Valley. And the suspect description matches in all of them. The first robbery happened at a 7-Eleven near 300 East and 400 South. The second robbery happened near 700 East and 3rd Avenue. That is also a 7-Eleven. It may be the last shopping day before a major holiday, but for millions of Christians around the world, it's the beginning of a celebration that is the cornerstone of their faith. Fox 13's Gene Kennedy visited 2 churches tonight, each expressing what the season means to them. Gene joins us in the studio. Hi.
Hi there, Nineveh. Merry Christmas.
A $194 million project is almost done in Draper. Construction on UTA's track station at 1200 East Pioneer Road is finished. But the 3.8-mile extension won't open until August because it has to undergo substantial testing. Candy canes are a holiday staple, and believe it or not, a lot of them come from right here in Utah. Ken Craft Candy in Alpine is one of Santa's favorite candy cane companies. Candy canes aren't just a December project for that company. They make them all year round, preparing for the holiday season. The candy comes in all different shapes and sizes. And since yesterday's avalanche, officials want to make sure you're prepared if you plan on heading into the backcountry. Search and rescue say Malloy's accident could have been a lot worse, but because they were prepared with backcountry avalanche gear, she was rescued and she's alive. An update now to a story we first brought you on Fox 13 News at 9 last night. The man who barricaded himself inside his own home after allegedly stabbing his wife is behind bars. Fox 13's Kelly Chapman has more from Harriman. A new movie starring Bill Murray is getting lots of buzz, and not just in Hollywood, but among history lovers. It's about the secret lives of President Franklin Roosevelt and his First Lady. Steve Oldfield caught up with the actresses who play the 2 women in FDR's life, Eleanor and his distant cousin, Daisy. They had a lot to say, Bob and Hope. You know, turns out this pollution problem isn't just painful for your lungs, it's also hurting the state's pocketbook. There really isn't anything solid on the table just yet, and with 26 days to go until the legislative session begins, we haven't seen any air quality bills. And that task force that was created by state lawmakers last year, well, they're not going to be providing or suggesting any solutions for at least another year. Live at the state capitol, Nineveh Dinha, Fox 13 News, Utah. It's pitch black outside right now, just like it was last night. The Bloyer family's garage was open, just like it is right now. They say a Farmington police officer walked through their garage and into their home through that door.
It's a pretty nice, peaceful neighborhood.
Cheryl Bloyer was in a deep sleep.
This door right here was unlocked.
Correct.
Her son Tyler had just gone to bed.
I walked down the hall and I hear someone shouting Farmington police.
A neighbor called police after noticing the garage door open.
He was just like treating us as though we were criminals.
This is how it played out in their words. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's dark outside. It's a quiet neighborhood, but their garage door was open. They say the officer walked into their garage and opened the door. Next thing you know, a flashlight is shining in their face.
I couldn't see his badge. I couldn't even tell you what he looked like.
Talking to a cop here, or am I talking to someone who's impersonating a police officer?
The Bloyers say it was a scary situation that could have turned out differently.
I know people who live in Farmington who have guns right beside their bedstand. I could have come out with a gun and he could have shot me or vice versa.
But Farmington police,
I feel badly that they are upset.
Paint a different picture of what happened.
The officer responded, knocked on the front door, rang the doorbell, was not able to make contact with anyone, walked into the garage as the garage door was up, put his hand on the door to goes into the house from the garage. It came open. He stood in the doorway, yelled into the doorway, Farmington police, is everybody okay?
There's a very large gray area as far as when the officer can enter a home, when he feels like he needs to enter a home because of safety reasons for us.
I want change, because I don't think if this is their standard procedure, I believe it's not a good idea in the society that we live in now.
Farmington's police chief says they're going to look a little deeper into what happened. They may use this as a learning experience, but for now, they say they are standing by their police officer and believe that he did the right thing. Hope, back to you.
Marianne Abbey and Elizabeth Huntsman may be sisters, but they will be the first to admit how different they are from each other. Here's a look at what their lives are like off the campaign trail.
Marianne Huntsman is a spitting image of her mother, Mary Kay.
I'm a concert pianist.
When she isn't on stage, the 28-year-old is working as an ambassador with Malaria No More, an organization dedicated to ending deaths related to the disease.
One of which about what to wear Valentine's Day is coming up, so I have to ask.
Abby has also found her place on screen.
I'm currently a host for Huffington Post's new channel called HuffPost Live, which I absolutely love.
But don't let interviews with celebs like Khloe Kardashian fool you. This 26-year-old beauty has brains too.
I think what's so important, though, is to make sure that we don't disrespect our Constitution, our Second Amendment right.
The youngest of the three is Elizabeth, or Liddy.
Hey, you're here with Liddy Huntsman, and I am so excited today to have Jerusha Hess.
Liddy works for Thomas Arts Agency, which produces web stories for Zions Bank.
I'm writing, producing, directing, hosting. I'm kind of like a one-man team.
You'll also hear her on Utah's most liberal radio talk show with Democratic Party Chair and newly elected Senator Jim DeBacchus.
Did you see? Give us some backstage kind of stuff.
I was in an elevator with Mitt Romney and Ann by myself, which was awkward.
Between their careers and their personal lives, the Huntsman daughters stay busy. Marianne is making a move to the Big Apple. Abby is married and living in New York. And Liddy recently came back to Utah.
I mean, the three of us are all a different shade of color. We're so different.
The three sisters are alike in so many ways, yet so different, especially when it comes to their political persuasion and the LDS faith.
I actually was the first one to leave the church when I was 14 years old.
We've all been raised culturally as Mormons.
We really respect it more than anything, and it's a huge part of us growing up.
I think we all have completely different religious views.
And even though their father is a Republican, some of his daughters have strayed from the party line.
I would consider myself a moderate, a lot like my dad. Well, actually, he's probably more. He might be more conservative than I am, but I believe in gay marriage and science.
I feel like I'm heading more on the liberal side.
I'm a lot like my dad. I think I'm moderate on a lot of the social issues. I recognize that, you know, I'm for gay marriage, for example, but fiscally I believe in less government.
We get into a lot of debates, and that's a great thing about my dad, because I'll always go and be like, Dad, what do you think of this issue, and try to debate him on it. He always brings me back to his view, because he's so right.
Is that what it's like around the dinner table?
Yes.
Talking politics.
But somehow my dad is always right.
And it was their father's journey to presidency and back which brought them closer together as a family and friends.
We're best friends, and we'll always be best friends.
The Huntsmans have a big family, 7 children, including 2 adopted daughters from China and India. If you'd like to see the interview with the Huntsman girls in its entirety, go to fox13now.com. In studio, Nineveh Dinha, Fox 13 News, Utah.